If you're scouring through Prime Day deals, wondering what to buy yourself, then look no further. I got a nice one for you here, and it's a phone I already love, so any sort of discount is great. I'll be the first to admit that the smartphone discounts this year on Prime Day aren't exactly doorbusters, but any amount off on this particular phone I think is good, since I think it was worth it at the full price, and that is the Moto Razr Plus for 2024. Last year's was a knockout. This year's, they've just made it even better. So if you could pick one of these up, link in the description. It does help the channel. $800. I think you could do a heck of a lot worse than $800 on this phone. And if it offers everything that you'd want in a flip phone, it gives you all that style and design and just all the fun of a flip phone. Is the reason why you get it. It's a conversation piece. It's something that you just love, having that full smartphone experience, but then you could kind of fold it down into a very compact form factor that fits nicely in your hand and even better in your pocket. It's just an overall fantastic device. So if you could pick it up for $800, it's definitely a win. So let's go over it. The first thing you're going to know, I like the vegan leather back, or the eco leather back, whatever we're supposed to call it nowadays. Is very nice. I like the texture on it. No problems with that. In fact, I like the fact that they've gone away from the glass, because the glass last year, if you had the Razr Plus with the glass, it was a little slippery. So I like the fact that the texture is there. You could put a case on it. That's fine. It's a big investment. I get it. You still probably want a case anyway. But if you carry it without one, this is a nice textured back. But of course, you got one of the biggest changes on the Moto Razr Plus for 2024 is this just gorgeous external display. And unlike the Galaxy Z Flip 6, you don't need Good Lock. You don't need Lockstar. You don't need Navstar. You don't need any of those star modules that Samsung will have you download to be running any app that you want. Full app experience on your external display on your Motorola Razr Plus. Really nice. Really nice. App experience is good. Go ahead and see if we can pull one up here without, I mean, look, you could just go ahead and scroll here as the camera adjusts. Really nice, okay? So it's perfect for those 5-minute, watch some cats for a second, perfect for those 5-minute little Instagram scrolls, 5-minute Twitter scrolls, enough thumb space for WhatsApp messages, no problem with that. You could read emails, so it's a great way to, A, save your battery, but B, save your brain. If you're somebody that just sits there and like mindlessly opens up the phone and does these doom scrolls for an hour at a time instead of getting work done, you could just kind of satisfy a little bit of curiosity there, see what's going on in the world, see what your friends are doing, get a little scroll going, and then be done. Save battery life, and you have never even opened up your phone. I really love it for that. Even the Moto has those little games that I must say I've spent way too much time on. These little games that are designed for the outer displays. It's like a soccer one I've been playing all the time. So there's plenty of little fun bits there, but I just love the way that this thing takes up. I mean, it's bright, it's great, it's fluid. I just love the way that the outer display takes up the entire footprint of the device. It is a gorgeous outside exterior panel. It's a perfectly readable outdoors. I love the way it goes around the cutouts, and you could do things as well like last year where you could kind of make it go above the cutouts if you need to hit a button or a notification or something down low, but overall it's great. Then you flip it open. Listen, last year's Hinge, I did a video on it. Had my doubts. Didn't feel like the tightest tolerances in the world. Little loose, little wobbly, but credit where credit is due. My Moto Razr Plus for 2023 last year got the most use out of any flip phone I owned. Anytime there was a special event, anytime there was a holiday party, anytime there was anything of any significance, I put my SIM back in the Razr. And it held up. Didn't have any peeling. Didn't have any issues with the hinge. No problems whatsoever with that device. So as much as I doubted it early on, I can't really say anything negative about it. And it feels like Moto's even made this one even sturdier. Really nice close on this one. Just really nice open. Just a little bit more secure, a little bit more stable. So if they've already taken last year's reliability that Moto already had on last year's hinge and added it to this year's hinge, I'm happy. And so far so good. It's been out a couple 2-3 months now. Really no issues. Getting some absolute use. Love these. If I were to carry, this is where there's probably 10 phones on this list. However, if this weren't my job, if I didn't review smartphones all day long, and didn't have to constantly switch through phones in order to get reviews in, probably would be in the Razr Plus. Probably would be in the Razr Plus. Because it does everything I need it to do, opens up to this gorgeous full-featured experience on the inside, gorgeous OLED panel, the saturation that Samsung is only now getting back to. Motorola never left. I have problems with the software support, but I do happen to like Hello UI and the changes that Moto made to their software for Android 14. All the gestures are still here. It runs really well. It's just, you could say things about the Snapdragon 8S Gen 3. Yeah, okay, maybe it doesn't have the raw horsepower of the Flip 6, but that's not what you're going for with these. This would get everything I want done and then some, and it just has the style and the flair as well, and just close it down, have the external display. It's just a really cool device to have in your pocket. And I think that if you could pick one of these up for $800, that's a great way to save money. 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. That's nicely spec'd for a device like this at the entry level of the Flips. I mean, it's silly to say something like that, but it is true. $800 is kind of the bottom of where you're going to be on one of these ones that's nicely spec'd at the flagship level with a brand name like Motorola. Cameras are what they are. The one thing that I will give Motorola credit for is that they it kind of sold out on the saturation, kind of sold out on making and producing Instagram and social media friendly photos that you take, and I'm fine with that. That's how we remember things anyway. I don't mind the photo that, if I have to err on the side of something, and I know my sensor's not the strongest, and I know my computational photography is not necessarily the best, or at least not on par with Samsung or Google and all the rest of it. If I have to kind of make a mistake in one direction, it's going to be in the direction of saturation. It takes nice, rich photos, same as my G Stylus, same as my Moto Edge. I'll link the full review on this device at the end of this video. You can see all those samples and everything. Really nice. Just really nice. I think it takes a nice photo. Not a flagship camera by any means. Not as versatile as a flagship camera with just the two lenses, but it'll absolutely get the job done. And on one of these devices, that's what you're looking for. So just a really complete package. When you talk about the RAM, nice software. When you're talking about the Snapdragon in here, you get everything that you'd want to get. It's near enough an experience that you're going to get on the Flip 6. A couple $100 less, much nicer styling. I mean, this is just a really sleek, nice device to have in the hand. It's fun to use. Every time you open it, you're going to get... It doesn't wear out, by the way. If you're a first-time Flip, because that's who this really appeals to. You're somebody who just loves phones, you love technology, you love flip phones maybe, but you never took the plunge because they are so wallet-punching. They are so just expensive. Like even $1,000, like, yeah, you're interested, but you really don't. You go back to whatever discount or carrier deal you got on another phone. I get it. But this one, if you're wondering, hey, is the Flip, the thing wear off? Does the kind of newness of it wear off? Does it get tiring flipping it? Whatever. No, it doesn't. It is cool every single time you do it. And I'll tell you what, if you don't get that fatigue that you think you might, only because the outer display is so usable. If the outer display weren't as usable, and every single time I had to open it up for a notification or to send a message like we used to, I could see that getting old. But this one, where you could just respond to quick messages here, when you can look at WhatsApp, you can look at Twitter, you look at Slack, you look at anything that you want, app-wise, you could look on the outer display. That really limits that fatigue and makes this more of a full-functioning device than you'd initially think. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.